How's everyone doing? Today I got just a ridiculous mail day again from the studios, and like I said before, I'm only going to do these mail day videos when there's a lot at one time, and that was definitely the case this time. I had a few different ones from different distributors, and it's just crazy right here. Look at that stack. And like I said before, I don't usually like to do these types of mail day videos or things like that when I haven't seen all the releases, because I like talking about the releases and getting people's opinions as well. There's a few in here that I have seen, so I'll probably show those off first, and then the rest of the ones I'll talk about in a future video in more depth after I watch them. But as always, if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And first up is 2011's The Flowers of War from Lionsgate Home Entertainment. And if you've watched my videos, you've seen this in my top 10 movies from 2011. It was actually my favorite of 2011. I really enjoyed it. The beginning of the scenes, kind of like a Saving Private Ryan war action scenes. Very well done. The cinematography was just amazing. It kind of has a dark tone to the movie, but it really works well for it. And of course you have Christian Bale in here. And the lead actress is just incredibly gorgeous. And it takes place in 1937. It's Japan's invasion and occupation of Nanking. It's just basically all-out war, just crazy war scenes. And in the middle of that is Christian Bale. He's an American. He's over there and he's trying to hide from the Japanese so he won't get killed or become a prisoner of war. And he seeks refuge in this religious convent for girls, and he basically pretends to be a priest. And at the same time, these girls right here who are prostitutes also hide there so they won't be taken by the troops and things like that. And he's basically trying to hide all these girls and save these girls from the Japanese. And I just thought it was a very touching and moving story. My only minor criticisms about the movie were I wish the narration from the one girl would be more prevalent. And also the one scene with the boy at the end where he tries to help out. I just felt that was kind of like, just really felt that was kind of unnecessary, and I don't know, it just seemed out of place. And I was like, really? That, all this whole time leading up to it, and you throw that out there? Just felt out of place. But this movie was just an epic in my opinion, just an excellent movie. Christian Bale, fantastic actor, but he didn't overtake this movie. He was just kind of, his role was kind of subtle. He was basically just the reluctant hero on this. At first he was just trying to kind of hide and not trying to help anybody, but then the movie, it gets kind of involved and he really wants to help these girls. And it's just a really good, touching story. It's very tragic as well. It kind of shows the atrocities of war and what can happen, and good people can turn bad, and people that, were just kind of looking out for themselves can turn out to be very helpful. But there you go, The Flowers of War. Highly recommend this one. Very stylistic. And I did happen to pop this one in just to take a look at it, and it does look really good on Blu-ray. Like I said, it's kind of a darker tone movie which fits this, and it looks really well. It definitely pops. And again, the action sequences kind of like Saving Private Ryan in the very beginning. And again, very dramatic. Some great character-driven drama parts in here. But there you go, nice slip cover. Go ahead and open it up and show you. There's the back. And then there's just kind of a plain disc right there. But again, I highly recommend this one. My favorite of 2011. And if you haven't seen my top 10 movies from 2011 list, that video, you can just click right here and check it out. All the cool kids are doing it. Now, I will say, of that list, I kind of wish I would have put Hugo or Midnight in Paris on the list. Those are two ones I left out, but they're both really good and could have made the list as well. I think I actually might do a video for the top 20 movies of 2011 as well, so watch out for that soon. And next up is Willem Dafoe and The Hunter, and this is just another really good movie. It's from Magnolia, and this is one made my top 10 movies of 2011 as well. Just a really good movie. The cinematography, again, really amazing, and Australia is just so beautiful. Basically, Willem Dafoe plays a mercenary, and he's hired by this organization to try to find a Tasmanian tiger, which were, supposedly extinct for almost 100 years, and there's supposed sightings here and there, but supposedly there was a sighting that's supposed to be more guaranteed, so he's sent over there to go find this Tasmanian tiger and basically, take its DNA so they can bring it back to that organization. And while he goes there, he's with his host family, kind of like this on this farmhouse, and the family is the mother who has these two kids, and the mother's kind of always sleeping, and it looks like she's taking like painkillers and sleeping drugs and stuff like that, so she's always kind of out of it, and the two kids basically kind of fend for themselves. And their father was also trying to do stuff over there in the outback, and he went missing months ago, and nobody knows where he is. And then, he's an American, and he's greeted by the Australian locals who kind of, try to, start stuff with him because he's American, and I was like, oh, you're a foreigner, you're not welcome here, all that kind of typical, stereotypical stuff right there. But basically, he's trying to find this Tasmanian tiger, and Sam Neill's in here as well. It just goes over the lush Australian outback as well, just shows some of that. It's just really breathtaking, some of the cinematography from Australia. Australia just looks so awesome. I love films set in that outback, and the ending really makes this movie. The decision that he makes really made the movie for me. And I really love Willem Dafoe as an actor. He's been a great actor for decades now. And really, The Hunter and Antichrist have been two of my recent favorite Willem Dafoe movies. And another one that I really love from, I think it was the late 80s, is To Live and Die in L.A. He played a great role in that, kind of like a nihilistic counterfeiter. Such an epic movie. I don't hear people talk about that movie enough. So if you haven't seen To Live and Die in LA, I definitely recommend that one. I believe it's a William Friedkin film who did like The Exorcist. He did tons of great movies, so there you go. Great performance again by Willem Dafoe. If you haven't seen The Hunter, definitely check that one out. Again, I made my top 10 of 2011. And next up from Magnet Home Entertainment is God Bless America. This is written and directed by comedian Bobcat Goldthwait. You know, he's the guy with the funny voice, the Police Academy movies. He's done some things since then. He's lost a lot of weight. And this was just an amazing movie. I think this is such a relatable movie. It's basically about this character, this guy right here, played by Joel Murray, who actually back in the day, Joel Murray and Bobcat Goldthwait were in the movie Endless Summer with Demi Moore and John Cusack, which I really enjoyed that movie. So they've been working together for years now. But Joel Murray, he plays this guy right here who's just kind of fed up with, you know, how American society has become. It's kind of devolved and all the trashy reality TV shows, and people are just rewarded for having no talent and basically not having respect for each other and just acting like jerks essentially. And you know, he's watching all this TV because he can't sleep because his neighbors are, you know, always, you know, screaming and yelling and just acting stupid, and they don't care about other people. There's no respect there. And so he's watching the TV, and you know, he always sees these trashy reality shows that, you know, kind of parody TMZ and Bad Girls Club and all these kind of spoiled like Sweet 16 kind of things on MTV, and it kind of parodies Glenn Beck as well. And then, you know, off of the screen, off the TV, they show it on the news as well. They show it in when he's driving through, kind of like parodies the Westboro Baptist Church and all the people that are really ignorant and hating on, you know, everybody essentially. And basically he just gets fed up with everything, and he goes to the doctor, and the doctor tells him he could have this terminal tumor, so he's not going to be living for too much longer. So he just decides to, you know what, I'm going to go and kill this really trashy girl on this reality TV show, and you know, life would be better without her. She doesn't add anything to life. And you know, on the way there, he meets this young girl, this high school student, and she's like, that's so great what you did. She was a horrible person. Can I come with you? And reluctantly, he decides to take her. And basically, they go on this kind of like Bonnie and Clyde adventure. And it kind of reminds me a lot of the movie Super with Rainn Wilson and Ellen Page. She especially reminded me of Ellen Page's character in that movie. And I think if you like the movie Super, you'll probably enjoy this one. But instead of killing criminals, they're basically just killing people that have no morals and that are just jerks essentially and offer nothing good to society. You know, they're fear-mongering people, you know, adding stuff to the news and media and stuff like that. You know, like I said, they did the Glenn Beck parody, kind of like a Fox News parody kind of thing too, where they just kind of twist everything. But this one was actually really enjoyable. One of the better movies I've seen in a while. And I have a question for you guys. Sometimes movies will come out in a film festival, like if this came out in a film festival, Toronto Film Festival, I believe, in 2011. Now, would you consider that a 2011 film, even though it didn't get an actual theatrical release in the US until 2012? So would you consider that 2011 or 2012? IMDb has it listed as 2011, and usually I go with IMDb if it's, you know, has a release in whatever country it comes out in, or if it's been in several film festivals. But this one only had the one film festival at the end of the year, and then it didn't see any theatrical releases in any country until 2012. I'm kind of torn between that. If it is considered 2011, I'm going to have to add it to my top 20 movies of 2011. I liked it that much, and it's very entertaining. And obviously, if the movie was released in like another country, like sometimes the movie will be released in another country before it's released in the actual country that it was made in, like the US. Like say it's released in Turkey in 2011, but it doesn't come here until 2012. I consider that a 2011 release. But if it's just the film festival and they're possibly doing some edits, and when an actual theatrical release happens in 2012 to all the other countries, it's slightly different, then I might consider that 2012. I'm still debating, I'm teetering on that, because, you know, once it's in a film festival, it's viewed, it's technically released. You know, they could do some alterations to the movie, but it's out there. There could be pirate copies out there from that point on. You never know. It's released out there in the world, essentially. So I'm kind of teetering on it. IMDb says 2011, even though it's just in the Toronto Film Festival in 2011, and then didn't have any kind of release again until 2012. But let me know what you guys think on it. Very dark humor, and some people might get offended by some of the, you know, crazy violence that happens. In the very beginning, he's, you know, getting so pissed off at the people next door, the crying baby, that he has this fantasy, you know, dream fantasy where he basically goes in, kicks in the door, shoots the guy who's like, hey bro, we got a problem? And he's like, yeah bro, and he shoots him. I just thought that was kind of funny. Then, you know, there's a scene that's going to offend some people. The crying baby, he throws up the baby, and, you know, he basically shoots it with a shotgun. It's off screen. They don't show the baby actually getting shot, but you see the baby being thrown up, and then he pans to him, and he shoots the shotgun, and his blood splatter hits him in the face. So it's simulated, it's inferred that, you know, he shot the baby. So that's going to upset some people. But, you know, it's part of the movie, and Violence is part of movies. It happens. Like I said, if you enjoy the movie Super, which had lots of violence in it as well, then I think you'll enjoy God Bless America. I thought this was really enjoyable, very dark humor. My only minor criticism was the ending. I felt the ending was a little weak. I wanted a little bit more from that. But basically, it's somebody that's fed up with how American society has devolved and the trashy reality TV shows and just the lack of human decency and respect that happens. I think this is just very relatable. I think everybody has had these fantasies where they're just so upset and pissed off and just annoyed with how people have become. And there's another scene where they're both at the movie theater and there's some young kids behind them and they're talking on their cell phone, continually talking to each other, and they throw popcorn at them. And so obviously they take out the gun and they shoot them. And then there's one girl who wasn't shot and they're like, "Thank you for not talking during the movie. Thank you for not using your cell phone during the movie." And she's like, "You're welcome." And they just walk out. I just thought that was kind of very humorous. It's dark humor, and it's no more violent than many other movies out there. It's no more violent than Super, or just tons of other movies out there. I just thought this was really enjoyable. I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to, essentially. Of course, people think these thoughts, they don't actually do them like they do in the movie, but that's the distinction right there. It's okay to think the thoughts, just don't act on it, obviously. Some nice disc artwork there as well. This is actually a really good release by Magnum Home Entertainment. It has some commentary with Bobcat Goldthwait, Joel Murray, and Tara Lynn Barr, the young actress right there. And basically, they show how they did a lot of clips in Syracuse, and they used local different things, and local actresses and actors and stuff like that, people in their family and stuff like that. So I thought that was really neat. But there you go. And next up is Robert Rodriguez's The Faculty. And this actually has a really good young cast. You've got the singer Usher, U-S-H-E-R-R-A-Y-M-O-N-D. You guys remember that song? I don't know, but it's got Elijah Wood, Josh Hart in it, Selma Hayek is in here, and Jon Stewart. There you go, Jon Stewart. And a couple other recognizable faces as well. And this is basically an Invasions of the Body Snatchers kind of thing. And actually, in one scene, it kind of reminded me of the movie Species, because it has a little bit of special effects that were kind of very similar with the CG. This is actually really enjoyable for what it is. Basically, this is a high school version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Some of the faculty, the teachers and stuff, they start acting weird, and people are noticing. Some of the students notice it, and they try to figure out what's going on. And Elijah Wood's character, who's kind of a dork, gets picked on a lot. He finds this supposedly new species, which turns out to be an alien species, and it's a fun ride. Very enjoyable. And again, I like the cast a lot. This is from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment. I'll go ahead and show you the disc artwork right there. And I like how the tagline right there, instead of it's "Take me to your leader," it's "Take me to your teacher." Enjoyable. Robert Rodriguez. And next up is The Darkness right here with Anna Paquin. This is also from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment. And this is actually really creepy and atmospheric and really eerie and moody. And I don't really hear anybody talk about this one. And it kind of reminds me of The Orphanage a little bit, because they moved into this big house and there's supposedly these murders of these kids, or these kids actually went missing, but later they found out they were murdered. There's all these kids that are missing, and it ties into this cult. And it's just really creepy. Some of the scenes, I was surprised. I was like, this is pretty damn good. And if you like movies like The Orphanage and just kind of creepy horror-esque movies that deal with cults and, you know, ghosts and shadows and things like that, I think you'll enjoy The Darkness. And actually, my minor criticism about this movie, my really only criticism, is really about Anna Paquin. I didn't really love her in this movie. I've liked her in other stuff, but I just didn't really care for her too much in this one. And the next few ones are ones that I've seen, but I haven't seen in quite a while. First up right here is Spawn from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. I think everybody knows this movie. This is actually the director's cut. And Michael Jai White, I really enjoy him as an actor. A lot of his kind of kung fu and undisputed movies and things like that, where he does a lot of action. But basically, this is a comic book movie, and it's just all-out awesomeness. And I can't wait to revisit this again. Of course, Warner Brothers, they have their typical black discs with just the title right there. And I'm going to go check this out and revisit it and see how it looks on Blu-ray. And next up is Frequency. This is one that I haven't seen in a while either, but I have seen it a few times. With Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. I believe it's like a father-son thing. They end up, there's some kind of time travel thing. They're trying to find out this mystery of who this killer was. And there's kind of like this tragic event that happened. I believe he was a police officer. And there's like this radio, and they can communicate with each other. Yeah, it opens up a channel to the past. And he's be able to communicate with his father, yeah. Who's been dead for 30 years. Okay, so that's what if the father was dead, alright. But to change the past could possibly change things in the future, so... But I remember this one actually being really enjoyable and very thrilling, trying to find out who this killer was. And, you know, I don't want to give too much away because I do remember who the killer actually was. But very enjoyable. And I can't wait to revisit this one again and see how it looks on Blu-ray. And next up is Altered States with William Hurt. I just remember this being really trippy and just really all-out crazy. It's been a while since I've seen this one, at least a decade. And this is from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment again. And it's basically about this research scientist played by William Hurt, who believes other states of consciousness are as real as everyday reality. So he uses sensory deprivation and hallucinogenic drugs and trying to explore these altered states, and it's just all that trippiness. There's actually a video I saw a long time ago here on YouTube, so a long time ago now, and it's basically clips of the movie with, I think, Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, and it's a really just trippy video. So if you can find that, definitely check that video out. It really works well for the clips. And can't wait to check this one out again. Really trippy movie from what I remember. And next up is Imposter. Great cast in this as well. Gary Sinise, Madeline Stowe, Vincent D'Onofrio, who's one of my favorite actors, and Mekhi Phifer as well. I believe this is kind of like an alien thing who, you know, they can basically take the form of humans, and they're trying to, basically they're imposters. They're pretending to be humans. And a lot of these new ones from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment, they have the first time on Blu-ray. Now I've noticed a couple of these have actually been out on Blu-ray before, like one of the Hellraiser ones. It was actually in one of the 4-packs, which I actually own, but yet the new release where it's a single edition has that little first time on Blu-ray sticker, so that's kind of not true. But basically it's about how the Earth was at war with an alien force, and the scientist is trying to save the planet, but suddenly there's people that are supposedly aliens and spies and things like that, and they're trying to figure out who's real and who's not, and, you know, where the aliens are. I love sci-fi movies like this, so again, can't wait to check this one out. And like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen that one too. And next up is Dirty Pretty Things with Audrey Tautou, which is absolutely breathtaking. Oh my gosh, look at her right there. So beautiful. This is kind of a tragic tale. This is from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment as well. It's basically about the working class struggle, and this one guy right there, how he works at a hotel, but on the side he's I guess he was a doctor before, so he helps people out and does these different things like that, different kind of operations to help people, but he wants to get out of the area. And Audrey Tautou's character, she's I guess not a legal citizen, so she's always trying to, you know, hide from the immigration people and stuff like that. But basically they get together and they become friends, and they want to, you know, help each other out and try to get away from how life is right there and try to better themselves. And I really enjoy Audrey Tautou as an actress. She was in Amelie, of course, and just a bunch of different movies, and she's just has a classic beauty to her, and I really did enjoy this one. I felt there was some cliches in some parts of it, but it was still overall very enjoyable. A little schmaltzy and over sentimental in some spots, but again, like I said, definitely an enjoyable one that I remember really liking, and I can't wait to check it out again and revisit it. And now all the rest of these ones are ones that I haven't seen before. First up is Sean Connery in Outland. This looks like a sci-fi kind of action movie right here, and I love Sean Connery and I love sci-fi, so this looks like something that's going to be right up my alley right there. But basically they're on Jupiter's moon, and there's like a mining station, people start dying, and Sean Connery's trying to find out what happens, and I don't know, it seems pretty interesting. I like that kind of theme right there, so can't wait to check this one out. And next up from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment is Coma, starring Michael Douglas and Genevieve Bujold, and this is written and directed by Michael Crichton, and this isn't one that I've seen before either. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Like I said, I love sci-fi movies, and from the synopsis on here, it basically starts where people are being admitted, young healthy people are admitted to the hospital, and minor surgeries are happening, and they end up on life support, and they're, you know, this lady's trying to figure out what's happening and what's going on and get to the bottom of this mystery, and I guess it goes from there, some suspense going on, and can't wait to check this one out. Next up is The Astronaut's Wife. Again, this is a Warner Brothers Home Entertainment release, and it stars Johnny Depp and Charlize Theron. Basically, I guess Charlize Theron and Johnny Depp are married, and he was an astronaut, and something happens, and mystery and intrigue, and can't wait to check it out. Seems interesting. I haven't seen this one before. And Johnny Depp, for me, he's kind of hit or miss actor. I like him in a lot of things, and there's some things that I don't really care for him in. Some of the stuff that he's been doing recently I haven't been cared for him in, but I really love Below, which was just an amazing movie, one of my all-time favorite movies. But there's a bunch of other things that I really liked him in as well, but then there's other things I don't, so there you go. Can't wait to check this one out. Hopefully it's not like The Tourist. And next up from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment is Brainstorm, starring Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood. And I don't know if you guys know the whole story about Natalie Wood. She was on that boat and with her husband, and Christopher Walken was actually on the boat as well when she ended up dying. So there's all kinds of things. They were just recently trying to dig up more stuff and trying to re-bring the case back up in the news, because there was some lady that came forward, or maybe it was a guy or a girl that came forward, this elderly person, and they said they were in that area and stuff like that when it happened. I don't think they actually reopened the case, but it was all in the news for a while, and I don't know what happened. I don't think anybody will ever find out what actually happened, but you know, maybe it was an accidental drowning, who knows, but very sad stuff. This is another one that I haven't seen before, but it sounds awesome, and I really do enjoy Christopher Walken as an actor, so I can't wait to check this one out. It's basically, I guess, about a machine that can download somebody's thoughts and put them into somebody else's thoughts, but somebody's manipulating it, and I guess abusing the power of it, and trying to find out what's going on, and trying to keep this invention from, you know, the bad hands and stuff like that. So, seems kind of interesting. Can't wait to check that one out. And next up is Daniel Craig in Renaissance Paris 2054. This looks awesome. I saw some clips right there, and visually this seems like it's going to be really cool, kind of a futuristic movie in the tradition of Blade Runner and Sin City, and it is, like I said, an animated black and white kind of style right there, and it's from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment, but basically it's set in Paris in the future, and there's like this corporation, and there's all kinds of suspense and corruption and stuff like that going on, and go ahead and show you what the releases. I like how Echo Bridge is doing a lot of their disc artwork right there. I love Warner Brothers as far as their releases for picture and audio quality wise, but I do wish they would have artwork on the discs instead of just kind of like the uniform black with the title. I really appreciate disc artwork. But next up, also from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment, is Albino, starring Faye Dunaway, Matt Dillon, and Gary Sinise. And again, I really do enjoy Gary Sinise as an actor. I'm not a huge Matt Dillon fan, but he's kind of hit or miss for me as well. This seems like, oh, Joe Mantegna's in there as well. And some other recognizable faces, and it seems like it's an action thriller. It seems kind of taut. I did see a trailer for this, and it seemed very interesting. I guess it's about some small-time crooks who get in over their head, and I don't know, just all kinds of things start happening and unfolding. But from the trailer, it definitely has me intrigued, and I can't wait to check this one out. And next up from Kino Classic is Buster Keaton and the Saphead right here. It comes in a nice slipcase right there. Now I'll go ahead and show you the disc artwork while I have it out. There you go. I like Buster Keaton and some of the things that I have seen, basically kind of a slapstick kind of stuff going on, and this is from 1920, but it looks like there's a 1995 edition as well, and some complete with alternate version, compromised entirely of variant takes and camera angles, so that's pretty cool. I like how Criterion Collection did a recent release for Gold Rush where they had the original version, and then they have Charlie Chaplin's version that, you know, he approved and he has his narration in. Kind of seems like something somewhat similar from that. Basically, Buster Keaton's character is a well-to-do guy. He's a pampered son of a powerful Wall Street financier, and he gets involved in all these misadventures and illegal gambling and tumble onto the floor on the stock exchange, oblivious to the obstacles that stand before him. Kind of sounds like he's just going through life and doesn't have any clues what's going on in reality. He's just pampered, and he gets involved in all these different things, and I don't know, it seems very interesting and comical, and like I said, he's kind of slapstick kind of humor, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. And next up from Well Go USA is Windblast, and this looks like kind of like an assassin kind of themed movie right here with a nice slipcover. And I'll go ahead and show you the disc artwork, which is nice. I like how they use the disc artwork as well. A lot of times for the titles, for the same as the front artwork right there, usually the cover artwork. So I appreciate that. Anytime the releases have disc artwork or interior artwork, I definitely appreciate that. And this seems kind of interesting from the write-up on the back, so can't wait to check that out. Usually Well Go USA has a lot of their kind of martial arts titles with some great action sequences, and a lot of the shooting and stuff like that, like War of Arrows. Oh, that was really epic to watch. Some of the cinematography and some of the scenes with the action and the arrows flying back and forth. And this seems like it's going to be kind of similar, but with guns. And next up, this is one from Well Go USA, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not really too thrilled to check out. I saw a trailer, actually I saw a few trailers for this on some of their previous titles, and yeah, it seems like a rape revenge movie about a stripper named, I guess, Cherry, and like she goes to do this, like, bachelor party or back room kind of thing. They showed it in the thing, and obviously these guys end up raping her, and she's all decides to go get revenge and has a machine gun. She tries to find each one of them and kills them. It just seems very uninteresting. But I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to check it out. Many times before, there's movies that I haven't been excited to watch, but after I watch them, I end up really enjoying them. So, and then there's ones that I really look forward to, and I end up hating. So you never know. But if you like a really good rape revenge story, I would recommend I Spit on Your Grave, the original or the recent remake. Both are excellent. The original one kind of has like a darker grindhousey kind of feel, kind of gritty and dirty. The new one also has a gritty and dirty feel, and it's actually just as good as the original in my opinion, and I absolutely love the new one. But Cherry Bomb, right there. Go ahead and show you the disc artwork. Kind of almost seems Planet Terror-esque right there. Kind of Rose McGowan, but instead of the shotgun on the leg, she's just kind of holding it there. She has the red kind of outfit as well. But there you go. So there you go. There's my huge Blu-ray stack right there. Blu-ray Mailday from the studios. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, especially since a lot of these ones I haven't seen before. Or leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.